What's up guys, back with another Honkai Star Rail video. In this video we are going to go over a slight issue with Dr. Ratio. Now Dr. Ratio is going to be a free 5-star. The second his banner comes out we are going to get him in our mail for free, which is really massive. However, he does have a few issues. I will say a big benefit to him though is he is an imaginary hunt character, meaning the days of not having any characters to do imaginary damage are over, as long as you obviously log in and get him, of course. But an issue with that is if you just like had really bad luck, or you just didn't have a DPS of a certain type, if they were weak to imaginary, you cross that one off the list because you had to pull one of the 5-stars, and it goes downhill from there, right? It just sucks when the game doesn't let you have a certain type of character, especially if said character isn't a DPS, because then you're just, you're out of luck, right? So very nice that he is imaginary. However, he has a few issues. So let's go over his basic attack, right? Fine, right? Just his damage, his skill, does damage, right? As of right now, right? Because I guess this is technically leaks in a sense. Deals imaginary damage equal to 240 of Dr. Ratio's attack, right? To single target enemy and applies Wise Man's Folly. When Dr. Ratio allies attack a target effective with Wise Man's Folly, he launches a follow-up attack for one time against his target. When he activates this twice, it goes away, right? Okay, fair, right? Then his talent. When using a skill, Dr. Ratio has a 40% fixed chance of launching a follow-up attack against his target for one time, dealing imaginary damage equal to 270. This is his most damaging attack. So you want his follow-up attack to trigger a lot. For each debuff the target enemy has, the fixed chance of launching a follow-up attack increases by 20%. If the target enemy is defeated before the follow-up attack triggers, the following up attack will be put on someone else, right? And his technique, I'm not even going to go over that. It reduces speed and all that, but I'm not too worried about talking about the technique. His bonus traces, when dealing damage to a target that has 3 or more debuff, for each debuff the target has, damage dealt by Dr. Ratio to this target increases by 10 up to 50. Meaning you want to hit them when they have 5 debuffs, right? And then when the skill is used to attack an enemy target, there's a 100% base chance to reduce the attack target's effect res by 10% for 2 turns. That is nice. That allows Dr. Ratio to apply 1 debuff himself, because otherwise he's not applying any debuff unless you use your technique outside of battle. And then the last one is when Dr. Ratio uses a skill. For every debuff on the target, his crit rate increases by 2.5 and his crit damage increases by 5. This effect can stack up to 6 times. That means you want 6 debuffs. He can apply 1 himself, meaning you need to get 5 other debuffs from somewhere else. And that is kind of hard, I'm not gonna lie. He needs quite a bit. Now before, when his kit was firstly, he had like an RNG. Every time he follow attack, it would activate and you get like crit rate, crit damage, attack. But if they wouldn't go away, so eventually you get them all, right? Now you need 6 debuffs. He applies 1, so you technically need 5 other debuffs. Not saying you can't do that, but you have to keep in mind he's a hunt character, so you have to apply them to every enemy, as he's only getting hit, he's only hitting them once. And then when they die, you need to apply the debuffs yet again. So it's kind of rough, especially because a lot of debuffs are going to be applied via your, using a skill. I mean, you have characters like Silverwolf who can do it just by attacking, but man, oh man, it's gonna be a little rough. It might be a bit rough to get the full damage from the Dr. Ratio just because of this. I'm not saying he's unrunnable or his damage is gonna be garbage if you don't have debuffs, but it is rather concerning how debuff heavy he is. I liked his kit a lot more when it was more RNG based on like getting buffs. Let me know in the comments if you prefer the RNG one, or if you didn't know what it is. I guess let me know if you don't like this one, right? But yeah, no, let me know if you like this one or you hope he gets changed. I doubt he's going to get changed at this point because they already kind of showed him off a bit. At that point, they don't really change characters' kits too much. If they do change his kit, whenever I do the should you summon, this will be closer, like Rune Maya will be out by that point. So it's going to be a while, but eventually I'll do a should you summon or a like, recap for him. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna call it, to be honest with you, because it's free. But I'll go over his kit one last time when they like officially announce it. But I'm just saying, hopefully they fix this, because that's like a lot of debuffs, right? That's a lot of debuffs, and I'd rather not be super restrictive. Like if you want to run a certain team with him, right? I don't want to be forced to just be like, all right, well, I have to run him with like 2 debuffers, because if I don't, he's just, gonna lose out on so much. Like, the crit rate and crit damage being tied to debuff sucks, because he's gonna, like, if you build him with like one of the crit rate ones, and you're like, okay, as long as I get like 3 debuffs on the enemy, I'll be like good to go, which, I mean, that's pretty much the baseline one that you want to go for, so you get this traceability off. But let's say you need 3 or 4, and then you hit the crit rate threshold and you get the whole boost, then you're gonna have to reapply that every single time, and you might just lose out on more damage if you're unlucky with rolls. And there's just a lot of, like, what's the right word? I guess like min-maxing to be done with this, not through relics, but through like actual gameplay. You have to be pretty strategic, and that'll pretty much be just really annoying to play him. I'm not saying it's going to be impossible or there's no point, or most people can't do it, but for a more casual player who's probably going to be the more likely to use him, or have a need to use him, right? Because I could just straight up not use Dr. Ratio, right? I have other teams, I could just never use him. I'm going to use him, obviously, but some people might not use him. If you are a light spender, you're going to see a free DPS and go, sick, I want to try him out. And if you just don't have the right units, or you're having a hard time debuffing the enemy, you're not going to have as much fun with the unit. And it sucks that a rather restrictive, I'm not saying like super restrictive unit, but one that has a rather rough time getting going is going to be the free one. I'm not complaining in any way. It just sucks that you need so many debuffs for him to like start going crazy. I'll have a video on Dr. Ratio when he drops, and we'll see how much damage he truly loses from not having debuffs. So I guess look forward to that, but that's not going to be for a while, because we don't get him until he actually drops in-game, which is going to be sometime, January? So there's that. Let me know what your thoughts on Dr. Ratio's kit. By the way, for those of you who want dupes, unfortunately his dupes don't really help his debuff needs. You get more stacks of simulation, which is this one, right? So you'll instantly increases by 4, but I'm going to immediately gain 4 stacks. You need to get him first, which is nice. But it's like, I don't know. It's weird because this sounds super jank, right? Because this was his like RNG one, right? Because I just had like a brain fart reading this. I was like, what the hell does that mean? You get the crit rate, crit damage bonuses not because of the enemy's debuff, but because you just have 4 stacks because E1, right? That used to be the RNG one, right? So why word it like that? It's so weird. Like, it's so obvious they just moved it from RNG follow-up attacks to just debuffs. It's weird. This one, he gets energy, talent's follow attack hits target for every debuff. Yeah, just you can do more damage for more debuffs. And then the last one is just increases Wise Man's Folly, so you're able to get more guaranteed follow-up attacks. But that still doesn't help you with your debuffs. Like, it'd be cool if it's like, oh, for every follow-up attack, you can like lower their attack or defense or something. Like, give him like some Silverwolf ass like thing, so he might actually be able to get this without having to fully rely on his other teammates, right? Also, this one bothers me the more I look at it. It just sounds so weird. The fact that it's like, oh, you get 4 stacks, and then it's a passive based off of like the enemy's debuffs. Like, it makes sense, right? Because when the enemy has a debuff, you get the buff, right? But it just like, it sounds a little weird wording wise. But regardless of that, I'm not gonna focus too much on that. Let me know what you think of Dr. Ratio. Do you think it's worth going for dupes? Are you going for his light cone? Are you never gonna touch him? Are you just gonna like hope for the best and see what you can do? Let me know in the comments, and I will catch y'all in the next Honkai video. Thanks for watching.